Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TalkGA, our podcast on anything and everything Grand Archive. I'm your host, Mark from Solar Games, and joining me are my co-hosts, Fome and Eva.
Hello.
What up, guys?
All right. How are y'all weeks? Fome, you're first.
Doing good.
Okay.
I gave up on fire. I went back to water.
You scumbag.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's too bad.
You love bad decks.
Oh my God,
Even
you're
still-
true. You're right.
Doesn't that just make you like it more? I'm confused.
Yeah.
You're a scammer, dude. You told me you only play bad decks. Now you're back to water.
I try to play fire aggro, and all it is losing to every water deck. That's how it feels.
That's what underdog is. Okay. All right. Cool.
Huh?
Definition. All right. Anyways, Eva, how's your weekend? What decks are you playing?
Yeah, so I am still on water, Lorraine.
Okay.
But I've been kind of on a journey since the last episode, honestly, where there were a bunch of cards that I completely refused to play since the beginning of the game, since DOA. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. Like you've been telling me for a while, how come you're playing Lorraine Crux Knight without Ensoul? In fact, everyone says that. They're like, why don't you play Ensoul? And I'm just like, I just want to try to make it work, okay? And honestly, I thought my deck was kind of not terrible up until MRC came out. And I've just been struggling so much with my deck that I was like, fuck it, finally, I'll try Ensoul. Honestly, it did not work great. Okay. So then I went.
You tried to pick it up when Ensoul is not good anymore.
I mean, I think Fire and Soul is a pretty good show for it, but Water and Soul is so slow. It's really difficult. But anyway, so then I went the other completely opposite direction and took Crux Knight out of my deck for the very first time and just played pure Water Allies Lorraine.
Level 2?
Yeah, level 2.
Whoa.
No Crux.
Whoa.
My first time doing it since starting this game.
Whoa.
I had been on Crux Knight since forever.
Okay.
But I still refused. There was still one card that I refused to play because I think it's overplayed.
Yes.
You're gonna think I'm stupid for this, but I refuse to put Gildas in the deck.
I'm like, oh, you're gonna play Water Allies? You want to play Gildas? No, it's too good. I'm like, what?
You guys are in the same camp. I don't know what's going on. These
the
guys.
hipsters. How about you, Mark?
GA, yeah, great. I've also been struggling actually. I wonder if it's like a deck thing, or it's more of a skill thing, right?
Definitely skill.
Yeah, like because I've been struggling since
MRC.
MRC
This asshole.
and AMB.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't think it's for me personally, because I don't care about like playing underdog decks, right? I think for me it's just like not having enough reps and practice with stuff, not seeing the situations. But the fun things for me is like learning how to like really use Quicksilver Grail. And all right, guys, I'm ready, guys. Okay.
What?
Quicksilver Grail. 5 out of 5. Best Divine Relic in the game, period.
5 out of 5.
Best?
GCR, get the fuck out of here.
Huh?
Quicksilver Grail.
GCR, 0 out of 5.
No.
Grail, 5 out of 5.
GCR is like pretty much the second one, definitely, right? But like, no, Quicksilver Grail is the best, period. This card is like really good. The cap for what this card can do is infinite. Because as the game grows, as there are more cards, there are more shit you can put underneath it. Bro, this card is like way overpowered.
Yeah, it does have a very high ceiling.
Yeah. You can turbo shit, you can hide stuff, you can screw your opponents over when they're least expected. It's like a lot of things are available to Quicksilver Grail. GCR just says draw a card. A bunch of cards.
Just says draw a card.
Every card in the game now says draw a card. So like I don't really care anymore.
Actually, you have a point, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but I think at Christchurch, Quicksilver Grail was maybe the divine relic that won the finals match.
Guys,
it was the decisive regalia.
That's true. That is true.
Buy your cups before they go up.
Wow, that is crazy.
Just saying.
That is a flaming hot take.
All right, for today's show, we haven't even started the show yet. Okay, for today's show,
more flaming hot takes.
We're gonna have some quick announcements, followed by the BNR announcement from this season or this past week. We're gonna hit up with our cornering the market updates, and we're gonna have a little quick recap for Ascent Christchurch, followed by a brand new segment to the show, Overrated and Underrated. We're going to be talking about some cards within AMB for this segment. And then lastly, we're going to end the show with more lore and HVN, Abyssal Heaven predictions.
Ooh.
Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get started. All right, announcements first up. There are two big major tournaments coming soon to our region here. Is going to be the first one is going to land, I think, in 2 weeks from now? Ascent Santa Clara.
Yeah, so maybe a week from when the podcast comes out.
Correct. Oh, yes, true. So Santa Clara will be December 7th to 8th. There are still steel and silver tickets left over, so please go ahead and go to the webpage if you want to join. It'll be really fun. Lots of people are coming. I heard it's gonna be Christmas themed, so that's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's cute.
Very, very cool stuff. Yeah, might be some like gifts and stuff going on too, right? So cool.
I like how you said leftover as if people didn't sell it out and they had to raise the cap in order for more people to get tickets.
Yeah, I might be wrong on this, but I think the cap was raised twice actually. Anyways, so very, very it's already happening events. It's a cool area, so come visit us. All three of us will be attending Ascent Santa Clara as well.
Yep.
Also, NorCal Regionals, just to put this on your calendar, no specific event information has been released yet, but January 11th, I would mark the calendar if you're planning to attend the NorCal Regionals.
Ooh.
Okay.
Back-to-back events.
Yeah. Fome, you're up. Ban and restricted announcements.
All right, this one's a bit of a doozy, so buckle up.
Yep.
All right.
How many changes?
And that's the BNR announcement.
Okay. Corner the market. No, I'm just...
But yeah, all jokes aside, there have been no changes to the ban and restricted list this time, which I gotta say is quite surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty obvious that everyone was looking for a baby gray slime escalation from category 2 to category 3.
Yeah.
Which would mean it's banned entirely.
Right. Because last time they said, hey, baby gray slime is a card we acknowledge to be problematic, so we're putting in category 2 on the dangerous card watch list. And we thought, after the performance at Christchurch where slimes yet again dominated, certainly baby gray slime was going to move to category 3 and get banned this time. It didn't happen. And there were some very interesting statements on the announcement about why they didn't ban it.
Yeah.
They wanted to still see if it's having an effect homogenizing decks with like baby gray slime being played in decks outside of slimes.
Yeah.
But now they think that that's died down a bit, so that problem is not there anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like this explanation almost misses the point. Yeah. Because it's the problem right now is not that baby gray slime is powering up non-slime decks.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's powering up slime decks. And this deck is by far the most represented deck at major events with the highest conversion rates. I mean, can we just kind of get rid of this card? Now we have to deal with it for another month and a half probably.
I mean, I'm going to say I slightly disagree because I think that the fact that it was overused outside of slime decks was a problem. So there's two problems at hand here, and it looks like they addressed one and are ignoring the other.
That's perhaps a good point. Yeah, maybe because it was being used as an engine card in the Vanitas Razorgale deck,
and now Kongming Razorgale,
and now Kongming Razorgale. But then they nerfed 3 visits, which caused the Razorgale decks to not be as strong. So maybe that caused the baby gray slime to not be as represented in those decks. But it's still way too good in the slime deck.
Yeah, and also the way to activate this card, as far as I can tell, is just you run in Win, you run baby gray, baby green, and then you run 4 slime shields.
Slime shield.
Yeah,
it's enough.
That's plenty to get the
the 2 right. Yeah. And especially in Win, where you can reclaim it, you can just keep triggering it over and over again. That's another problem with it too, right? So, I back to banning philosophy a little bit. I think. Maybe this is not the full list, but I think there are 3 main reasons why we would ban a card. Number 1 is, of course, if it's a pivotal piece to a deck, and the idea is we're trying to fix an unhealthy meta where the one deck is dominating, so you kind of ban either the one key card or the key card's supporting element type of thing, right? So you break a combo type of thing. The second reason, maybe just it's ubiquitously used, if baby gray is literally in every single deck, right? That's a problem, probably because it's limiting creativity. It's pushing that space. That might be a second reason why you might ban a card. The third reason would be because the play pattern is unhealthy. It's doing something where it's the game doesn't want it to do at all. It's not good for the future design of cards. So I agree. This one is probably not an unhealthy thing. It's probably also not a ubiquitous thing anymore, but it definitely is part of that first reason, which is hey, maybe this one deck just needs like some combo piece in it banned. Maybe not Baby Gray, but like, I don't know.
Need something.
Storm. But then the whole end game is gone, right? So you can't actually ban Storm Slime. So yeah.
I kind of thought it would have been nice if Gaia's Blessing had moved up on the watch list.
Yeah.
That's a very potent card.
That's true too.
That can help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gives you a bigger hand.
Yeah. One way to nerf the deck without banning Gray, for example, right?
Yeah. I mean, but they've tried to nerf Stone Scale ban. It didn't really nerf the deck very much.
Yeah.
Either way, I think everyone was expecting at least some movement on the watch list or ban list, even if it wasn't Baby Gray getting banned.
Yep.
And I don't know, little disappointing to see that nothing was changed, despite how much dissent it feels like there's been among the players.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some undiscovered tech, but it's going to be hard to get through this slime-dominated next few months.
I think another issue is that they said that the next BNR announcement isn't going to be until January 10th, which is quite a while from now. I'm really surprised that because usually, or rather, they started developing a pattern of releasing BNRs at the end of every Ascent.
Yeah.
And so I guess they're skipping Ascent Santa Clara.
These two probably are just too close together.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But January 10th is so far out.
Honestly, it feels like this was the best chance they had to make any changes.
Yeah.
And they won't get another good opportunity for a while.
Okay, shifting gears a little bit here. All right, cool. So we're gonna be moving right along into cornering the market. All right. Today we're gonna be talking over the 3 different themes that are kind of driving market movements this time around. So the first is gonna be around Win Allies. Yes, the folks, the field has spoken. They still love Win Allies, right? Dream Fairy is a great card in the Win Allies deck, and this card is now up to $15. I don't know what's happening.
Busted card.
Yeah, apparently I guess we're out of DOA boxes too. Is the problem?
Honestly, it might also just be that card answers a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
like,
Majestic Spirit.
Yeah, or like any of the big slimes, any like taunters. Like any of the unique allies. Like there's so much.
It doesn't just send it away. It like prevents you from playing another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you get it's great, and it has stealth. It's good.
Yeah, it's kind of a game-breaking card, honestly.
I mean, the card was already kind of expensive, right? So this week it's really just up about this time around it's up about 100% from before, so doubling the price. But I think also part of this is because there is just in general now we're starting to see Dawn of Ashes finally being a little bit like consumed up on the secondary market. I see less and less boxes of Dawn of Ash in general every day, so the prices of that is moving up as well. Okay, secondary card I want to talk about with this wind ally side is Oath of the Sakura.
Oh my god,
it's very interesting. Yeah, so this card for a long time was at 50 cents.
Huh?
I swear to God, I've been buying them like crazy.
It's rare.
I know. So
and it's good.
Yeah. Anyways, the card is
crazy strong.
And it's pretty.
Right, okay.
There's all the things.
All the reasons, right, yeah. It's up to $3 now, finally. So I think the market's recognizing the value of this card. So that's a healthy 500% increase, right? From around AMB release date. Like, I remember when I first saw the card, I realized the card's probably pretty good. I just didn't understand why it was so cheap. But I was actually buying the card because from all the boxes I've opened, like this was one of the cards that was like really like just short for me. Like I would open like a case and get like 1 or 2. So I was like, I gotta buy more because like, I'm making full play sets for people, whatever, right? So I just happened to buy like 50 or more. And then now it's like $3.
Mark's specking into the Oath of the Sakura right there.
Are you the reason the price rose?
Dang,
swear to God, I did it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. All right. Okay. Moving on to the second theme of today is Crux. Crux is good. Crux is still fine. Okay, guys. Goats of Pendragon. This card is steadily climbing. It's been climbing since like AMB release, but now it's at $65.
Are you joking?
Yeah. So my fear right now is Ghost is getting a little bit to the unobtainable range, like where, like if one card is, remember we had this conversation about Carter before. It's like getting to that range where it's a little high. So that's 45% increase, right, from the previous stable price, which is 45, and that still was pretty expensive then. Again, I'm just gonna blame supply. It's this is a very rare card.
It's still in print though. It's an Alter edition.
Alter is not, well, so I don't know what you mean by imprint, but we can't get any more alters from distribution. There's no more.
Oh,
there hasn't been. Well, there
Oh.
hasn't been any Ultra available for the last, I would say, like
Oh, so
year?
they have to print another wave.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that's what it is. Another card from the Crux package, Flame Sweep. Up to $10 now from the previous $5 price.
What?
That's 100% over the past few months. I actually blame the water players and Imperial Seal,
Yay.
right? Which enable this card for every deck now instead of just like Fire Crux, or Fire decks, I should say, right? But yeah,
Nice job, Eva.
Yay.
yeah, good job.
Figured
Good
out
work.
the
Good work.
No
The
idea if
market.
it's good.
But apparently, yeah, this card's just it's.
I mean, it's a good card
being
for
used.
fire.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else out there is using it for the same the same way I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if allies are doing well, you need a way to get rid of all those pesky allies.
this is the counter. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Okay, so the last segment I want to do is I want to talk about some overlooked and undervalued cards. First one is actually Xiaohodun. So this card is now down to $3 from around, I think, 10 or even 15 when I was buying this card at release, right? So that's a 66% drop if we consider $10 to be the price from the highs, right? I think people are finding this card to be really hard to slot into anything.
Yep.
This card actually reads pretty well, right? I think there's a lot of potential with this card, but most people are not seeing it, right? So if you think about it, this card is a 3-cost 2/4. If you have any champion that can use a bow or a sword, right? And then with a little bit of help, especially in the Ranger package, if you give it distance, it's now a 4/4. So I think it's a pretty good card. I think it's a very, powerful. It's hard to deal with, but people are kind of like not valuing it for what it is.
Dang.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
seems so strong.
Yeah. And then the second card I want to talk about here is actually Fractured Crown. So I think this card, everyone just kind of forgot about it, right? Like printed, it's like, okay, this is a regalia for Trisket. No one runs Trisket. Bye-bye, Fractured Crown. Like Luxem, who's going to run this card? Just get it rid of it, right? Guys, Guojia is, in the next set, is going to be a Luxem champion, right? It opens up another line for Trisket. Along what I was saying earlier about like Quicksilver Grail, this is one of these cards where as we get more Luxem options, there just opens up more Luxem possibilities, right? So what if there's a Guojia deck in the future where as another option, I launch a Trisket and then boom, I can Fractured Crown and the Trisket super strong or whatever. So, because here's another thing, this card is UR and it's from FTC where a bunch of people redeemed a bunch of products. So there's a lot less supply in the market. And it's like $1 each.
Yeah.
So
Penny you are.
yeah, if anything happens, right? If anything happens, yeah. So anyways, I'm again not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to trade, but yeah, penny stocks GA.
He's not saying buy Fractured Crown.
I'm not saying
But-
buy Fractured Crown, but
How many fractured crowns did Mark buy already?
0. I have enough. But yeah, it's really like I'm just thinking like anything, right? What if there's a future like Luxem Warrior just as a base champion? Like there's so much options for this card. Anyways,
Also, this card cares about unique allies, and
Yeah.
we are in the unique ally meta right now. So.
Yeah.
you chuck a bunch of unique allies in the graveyard, your Trisket actually has like Merlin level health or Jin level health. Think about it. It's crazy.
We'll see.
Crazy, guys. Crazy.
Interesting.
All right. We're going to move on to our next segment here. Ascent Christchurch. Eva, do you have our tournament breakdown details?
Kind of. I mean, it just happened.
Yeah.
None of us went, but we did watch a little bit of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
We caught the finals match, thankfully. It was crazy. It was amazing game.
Yeah, extremely
Played-
exciting watching
yeah.
the finals.
Yeah, played between true champion Isaac and Eoyoung. And Isaac was the one that took home first place on Norm Slimes.
Yeah, congrats to Isaac.
Yes,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Yeah, True Champion Gaming. Definitely, they've been delivering on the results.
Oh,
One of the strongest competitive Grand Archive teams out there. It's
Super
like
consistent. Super consistent.
incredibly consistent.
Yeah.
You always see a member of True Champion at the top.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at what kind of decks made it to the top 8, we had 3 on Norm Slime, which includes Isaac and Caben.
Yeah.
Watermill, Sylvie de Nico. Wind, Razor Gale, Kongming, which is like the big upcoming deck. Eoyoung was on a really interesting Wind Allies Tenoris deck.
Yeah.
I say interesting even though it's an old deck, but it's because it's old and not played very much anymore that it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then Wind Tristan Sakura Allies. So like the unique allies with the Oath of the Sakura.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool because I did see on the sideboard that this player had the Gawains. So this is another card I was like, ooh, this card. It's like Gawain is a very fun card if for like very high skill I think players, where basically it's like, if you know what they could be throwing into memory, this could be devastating as a card. Anyways, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, Mani, who is a Worlds competitor as well, was on Water Tristan's Allies, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I thought this deck was really interesting too because it's like take a normal Water Allies deck, add in GG, so add in level 3, and then add in Slice and Dice. So again, it's like the deck. I mean, if you're playing Waters, you're not going to win right away. It's a little slower deck. But it does have the slice and dice finisher, but it also gives you the option to go to level 3, and so you can go to level 3, get some shadow clones out, and then use the claw to do more damage. Also super interesting. It doesn't run any Umbra cards, so I think there's no top end using Umbra to finish the game type of thing. Of course, you want to kind of finish around the mid game, but it's just kind of interesting.
You don't need Umbra. You just get your own. You got the shadows. You got the Shadow Claw. Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, and also runs Eva's favorite new card, Halakine Scout.
Hell yeah!
The jumping card.
That's right. The best. It's the dagger every day, right?
That's right. But yeah, this tournament was pretty hyped to watch on the stream. I gotta go back to that finals match between True Champion Isaac and Young.
Yes.
Because it was so down to the wire, and I think a lot of people saw Young as the underdog in this match, playing against True Champion Isaac's Slimes deck.
Yeah.
But there was definitely one game, I think it was game 2, and it definitely seemed like Isaac had Young against the ropes.
Yeah.
And Young had only one out. And the out was if he drew Heavy Swing. If he top deck a Heavy Swing, he'd be 1 off lethal. So his only out was to get a Ornamental Greatsword and then also top deck the Heavy Swing.
Wow.
Now this is a kind of risky decision because the other option is he could have gotten a Terrafring or something and try to survive one more turn.
Right.
But he knew that if he let the game go on longer, it would just go further and further out of reach.
Right.
So he was like, you know what? Go for broke. Grabs the Ornamental Greatsword, top decks the Heavy Swing.
Yeah.
Part of the cards was so real.
And Isaac saw that and just shook his hand on the spot. And he's like, you got it.
It
was amazing.
Heck, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taking all the sources out, I don't know how many, I have to do the math, but how many Heavy Swings has he seen already in Banishment, etc. But yeah, what the percentage are on drawing that's insane. And those are the moments that make these tournament, final table so interesting to watch. So I'm excited.
We were all yelling.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I got it.
Oh my gosh, you got it.
Yeah. Oh, before we go to the next section,
okay.
Some juicy tea happened at Christchurch.
Okay. I'm ready.
So there was an individual.
Yeah.
An alleged infamous cheater.
Okay.
And I think the longest suspension of a player ever in GA history was handed down at Christchurch.
How long was it?
I think it was 75 years, so basically life.
Yeah. If you check the Omnidex page for Ascent Christchurch, their name is freaking crossed out in red, and you scroll over it and it says suspended for 75 years. It's so funny.
Do you think this thing counts down? Does it say 74 years next year?
Does it?
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, and then
okay.
75 years from now, he'll come back, and GA will still be around, and he can maybe play again. Their claims this person was playing with a 15 card material deck, or pulling extra cards hidden from their
That's
sleeve.
from this event. They were playing 15 cards at Christchurch?
I think it's not exactly sure on the details, so don't quote me on that. Yeah. But I mean, there's definitely been some interesting remarks about the allegations.
Because if I remember correctly, there was I think the original allegation was there were some tournaments way back, this is on TTS, that was the 15 material card deck thing.
Oh, so you've heard of this person?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you said, notorious in the community. I'm glad it's been policed. Mm-hmm. It's the proper actions have been granted and dealt with. So yeah.
They moved this person to category 3.
Instantly. Yeah. Oh, so there was changes on the BNR this week, right?
My bad. There was one change on BNR. A cheater was moved to category 3.
So bad.
Christchurch.
So bad.
All right.
Let's move on.
Okay, next segment. Okay. New segment we're gonna call Overrated and Underrated. So I think it's a pretty good idea, but we're gonna basically do something like this. We're gonna talk about cards in the current set for Mortal Ambition, and what cards we think were over and underrated. So it's been about a month since the release, and I'm kind of curious about your general thoughts on these cards, right? And the way we're gonna do this is basically we're gonna start with our previews cards first, right?
Our spoilers.
Our spoilers, sorry, yeah. And then basically how they performed, and then we'll go into asking for your over and underrated cards from AMB. So,
So far.
All right, as a reminder for everybody in the audience, our spoiler cards were for Fome, Bring Down the Mighty. This is the 1-cost, like rest, target unique champion, and then draw a card thing, right?
A unique ally.
Unique ally. My card was Oppressive Presence, which basically says it's like a tariff ring in fire based on how large or how much attack your fire cards have. And then Eva's card is Cao Cao, which sucks, so it doesn't matter. Like, we don't even know what the card does. What does it do? It's like really expensive, right? It's like 5 costs for a 2/2 or something, right?
Was it? I genuinely, I fucking told you guys about this card, and I actually don't remember what it does.
How did a unique ally get
I know
so
what you do.
wrecked?
You just admire the CSR. That's what the card does.
I mean, the card
yeah,
looks
it's
great.
very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It costs 5?
It costs 5. Yeah, it costs 5. It costs
Why
5.
do
It's
I
a
not remember
2/2.
this? Oh, it's because no one plays it.
Equestrian to reduce it by 3, so it becomes 2 for 2/2. There's like a
Uh-huh.
second part where that's right. Is it on attack?
On
you like
attack?
banish floating.
Yes.
If you do, it deals
yes.
2 damage to every one of your opponent's rested ally, right?
Rested units, including champion.
Okay. It's scuffed.
Wow.
I don't think I've
scuffed.
ever seen this card played.
Yeah, this card was bad on. Sorry. Okay, Eva, how did your card perform throughout the season?
I think I can't remember if I kept this in the final cut,
Yeah.
but when we were recording, I remember saying, I have no idea if this card is going to be good. It depends on whether Equestrian is actually going to be a good mechanic and played by people.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, it's played by nobody, and therefore, card's trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe have to do with the mage class bonus too, because it's
Oh, it's mage class.
it's a mage class bonus
Okay.
ability.
Who's playing mage allies?
Yes, it's who's playing
Oh.
mage
Mage-
equestrian allies.
Mage Equestrian mill allies.
Wait, mage equestrian allies in water.
in water.
And mill. You need
Yeah.
extra float.
I spent a slam. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This
like
is crazy.
it maybe just hasn't found the right shell, or it doesn't have the key pieces.
I think the other part too is like, I mean, a lot of the other, like, okay, why does the equestrian work in wind? Is because
Dilu.
you can play the card, it doesn't do anything yet, but once you play the second card, it works. This card says, I can't play the card because it costs 5. So I have to play the horse first. So you better have the horse already ready. And then I can play this card. That's the problem, I think. It's like, you can't just have it on the field. Like Dilu, you can throw on the field, but what are you gonna do? Sure, it doesn't do anything, but it's like 3/4, you can't kill it, right?
Yeah, Dilu is I mean a way scarier card
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And the horse that's supposed to go with Cao Cao, Juying also can't do fucking shit without Cao Cao on the board.
Yeah, or
So-
Xiahou
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
So sad.
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Juying is kind of good though. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
If you can
yeah, if you can get it to
if you
get
can
it
enable
going.
the
Yeah.
all this text.
I think Oath of Sakura should have been a water card. And then like
Oh my
problem
god.
solved. Okay, all right. Fome, how was your card? How did your
All right.
card perform?
Bring down the mighty.
Yeah, because I remember you were not too hot on the podcast.
Okay.
about
I
this
mean,
thing.
when we're spoiling the cards, of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
we're like being all hype and excited
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
cards. Okay, but I'm like thinking in my head like
Yeah.
this is a very niche card.
Yeah.
Because it's like basically like a one-turn fog that you draw a card off of. So I went from thinking this is useless,
Yeah.
then talking to people in Discord,
Okay.
and then people thinking, oh, this is amazing.
Uh-huh.
It's a free cycle, and
Yeah.
you can just target your own allies after you're ready attacked. So
Yeah.
it just gets a one cost cycle.
Yeah.
And so then my opinion went up, and now my opinion went really low again because no one played it.
Yeah.
And now my opinion is somewhere in the middle. because I run exactly two copies in the sideboard of Fog Xander for the Wind Allies matchup.
Okay.
And I think it only works in that deck because you could play it and draw a card and then level up to Xander 2, get it back, play it again, draw a card, each time stopping them from attacking you. So it's like, it's a kind of a good way to stave off some damage while keeping high influence.
Okay, so the fogging part of this.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's just all right.
Yeah. Okay. The requirement is unique ally to draw the card, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what makes it hard.
It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Okay. And my card, Oppressive Presence.
What do you think?
I mean, originally I was very hot on this card, right? But then I didn't see anybody play it for a while.
It's
so
very.
I played it.
I did play it actually.
From your deck that never wins, right? Cool.
With my brief stint playing Fire.
Yeah. So I felt like it's not good, right? But then I think just today you explained to me how this card's supposed to work, and now I'm back in, guys. Right?
Yeah, we get it wrong. The spoilers.
So the moment you resolve it, that's true for the whole turn. It doesn't matter if your champion got it doesn't matter if your ally got removed, right? That's the highest attack or whatever.
Yeah, because Oppressive Presence is when you activate it.
Yeah.
It prevents them from attacking unless they play X, which is X is equal to the highest power among allies you control.
Yeah.
But that X is calculated at the moment you resolve this card.
Okay, so it snapshots at that point.
Yeah, it's snapshots. That's exactly.
This card is insanely good. Wait, right? Like, why aren't more Fire ally decks running it? Like when so please,
you know why?
Why?
Because Fire ally decks don't care about defense. They care about offense.
If you can keep the board, don't you get like a second swing that's even better?
Well, yeah, that's what when I was playing Fire. By the way, this is a Tony deck, so I'm like, all right, this is all about protecting my board.
Right.
Tony Taunt. This kind of prevents them from clearing my board. I also played that one card that looks like Soul Bad Deck from Guilty Gear that has Taunt. I forgot the name of the card.
What am I supposed to work off of here? Whatever, move on.
Whatever. But
I was gonna say Lancelot, but yeah.
The problem is once they resolve one Frostworn Paladin, there's nothing you can do.
Okay, that's water decks.
Yeah, you're just done.
And then there's also stupid shit like Resolute Stand, right? So it kind of negates your whole attack.
And then I try to play it against Wind unique allies. Yeah. By the way, this is my jumping deck, so I had 4 Mortal Ambition, and their jumps are just so much more effective than my jumps.
True.
I agree. Oppressive Presence sucks.
Okay, so it still sucks. I haven't tried it personally.
Yeah,
but
I think maybe you think it's okay now because the card works differently than we originally thought.
Yeah.
But I think it still sucks.
Okay.
Maybe it's because Fire sucks.
Yeah. You need to draw more cards apparently. What about other cards in the set? Like, were there any cards that you felt were? Let's start with the overrated first.
Yeah, overrated cards.
Yeah, overrated cards.
I can start first.
Sure.
Okay. I thought Mandate of Honor was gonna be a game-changing card. Yeah. So this is a regalia that says if you control a unique ally, if your influence is greater than 8, you can't draw a card.
Correct.
That sounds incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Because to me that sounded just like, wow, this is better than Tithe Proclamation. Because Tithe Proclamation says you can only draw 3 a turn. Yeah. This says you just can't draw if your influence is greater than 8. And everyone has seen people who has influence greater than 8. That means you prevent your opponent from drawing any cards.
Yep.
But it turns out it's actually very easy to keep your influence lower than 8 and just play around it. And every time I played it, it did nothing.
Yep.
So I think it's an extremely overrated card.
You ever thought about putting this card under a Grail?
I guess that's the only way to make it good. Yeah. I guess if you you can do the gotcha thing.
Yeah, but but then they just say, okay, well, cool. You got me for 1 card.
Yeah.
But now I'm not gonna draw.
I guess it's good. Against if Luxem is about to burst draw a bunch of cards from their revealing
gleaming cuts.
Their gleaming cuts.
Gleaming cuts, yeah.
And then you're like, okay, instead of drawing 5, you draw 0.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more actually overrated card.
Cool. Okay.
Go.
Yeah.
Heavenly Guide.
What the You're just hating on all the new cards.
This Heavenly Guide is a terrible card, I think.
Didn't you just buy 3 from me last week?
I did, but can you buy it back?
Yes.
Wow, Mark, such a great friend.
Yeah. Not the same price though, guys.
Everyone has the dream that they're gonna play this and get crazy value out of it
Yeah.
if your opponent, had DG'd. But there's gonna be games where your opponent doesn't do that, or they don't level up, like the game ends before that point, or they just level up normally. And sometimes it's because they don't draw the DG, and sometimes it's because they know you have Heavenly Guide. Eva. So I was just sitting there with 2 Heavenly Guides in my hand, and like these literally do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, watches you buy 3 Heavenly Guides from Mark. Hard level to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That felt very bad.
To be fair, I think you're playing against just like water decks, which are slower. Because like if you play against fire, play against like any level 3 like turbo decks, right?
Yeah.
The way I kind of been explained why Heavenly Guide actually works is they have to level up. So if you holding Heavenly Guide makes them go slower, bro, you already won.
Yeah, you're right. If it's in the right, probably in the right shell, you're putting on the pressure, and it's like if they don't DG right now, they're dead.
Yeah.
I can see it being good. But I think it was more in my mind. It was more generically good in everything.
Yeah.
And
no,
now it's
Be.
not.
Yeah.
It's
no.
not.
I think you sideboard it, and I think you sideboard it for where you win game 1, and they're likely to pick first for game 2, right?
Yeah.
And you're almost guaranteed it. So, and I wouldn't even sideboard like 4. I would probably just do 2, and then you can, if you want, like if you're gonna go to second, right? You can probably do 2 DG, 2 HG, and then try to play the chicken game, right? So like you can catch up by just having a Heavenly Guide.
I think it also depends on if it's an open deck or not open deck tournament.
Yeah.
Because they know that you have 2 Heavenly Guides in your sideboard. That's going to change that decision completely.
Don't swap it. Chicken them out.
Yeah, I'm going to waste 2 slots in my sideboard just to mind games my opponent.
Well, it's day 2, right?
Yeah, I guess in day 2.
Yeah, you already made it day 2,
yeah,
before deck lists are revealed.
Yeah. What about you? What any overrated cards?
It's an overrated card for me, probably like Xiaohodun.
Xiaohodun.
Yeah, I really thought this card's great, dude. Like I don't know, like maybe I'm just I don't know. Like this is like one of my favorite characters from the history or something. I don't know. Just I really thought this card was gonna be great. I thought it had a lot of options. I saw warrior. I saw like range.
Mark saw eye patch and was like
eye
neuron
patch.
activation.
I'm like this eye patch is like +1 attack, right? For sure.
I mean the card
Guaranteed.
looks freaking sweet.
Yeah.
It's good.
Like I just maybe doesn't have its shell right now.
It has like, it reminds me of like Frost Paladin, but you just guarantee the 4 life, right? So the worst case scenario is this card's like a 1/4, so it's hard to get rid of. And then any moment you're ready to activate the range or the +1, now you have like a 3/4 or a 4/4. It's, I don't know. To me, it just seems pretty good.
Yeah. I think it might be the same reason why Dahlia is not seeing as much play, because you look at it and you're like, wow, I could like hit them for 8 with this. Never happens.
True.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could say that maybe part of the problem is that there's so many staple water cards that every water deck has to play. Like this is the same thing I said, was it last episode or 2 episodes ago? I don't know. But it's like we just don't have enough room to put these kind of cool, okay, but not game deal breaking cards into our decks.
That's such a good point.
Yeah,
because there's like, what are you gonna take out to put in Xiaohodun?
Yeah, like I am playing the Water Warrior Allies deck right now, and I often have a sword on the field, and yet even I can't make room for Xiaohodun. So it's like, there's just too many other cards I have to play.
Yeah, water deck building 101 is take your 60 cards, remove 20 cards of it. That's going to be this floating memory, like generic package. And the rest of the deck is what you have to play with.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And then it's not even that, because you have to remove like 14 or 20 for like Frostbind and like Fracture Ride.
Yeah,
and the
your
basics.
interaction,
Son of Frost,
all that stuff. Wow. Yeah, it's like the deck is like, has very few slots that you can change.
Wow.
Yep.
Water's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Eva,
All right.
what about you? Overrated?
So a card, I don't know if it's overrated necessarily, but a card that I was expecting to see more was Orb of Sealing. I mean, because I think there's a lot of Storm Slime haters out there.
That's a good overrated card for sure.
Rise.
I mean, I honestly just thought that this card would be popular as long as Slimes was dominating.
Yeah.
There's like 2 major reasons why it's not the silver bullet that everyone thought it would be.
Yeah.
First, Baby Green Slime exists.
Yeah.
Oh,
it just comes in like, goodbye, you're Orb of Sealing, now I Storm Slime you to death. And the other reason is like, you spend a materialization phase bringing that out.
Yeah.
now they get an extra turn to start beating your face in with their like ethereal slimes, and yeah, I mean, you're still gonna lose just from the traditional way, not even from storm slimes.
You know what I was thinking about using this card for? Against Arsana Astra Seal. I steal my own shit first.
Or like Cosmic Bolt.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty
you
good
can
too.
seal their
You can seal
bolts.
their bolts, or you can just seal your own cards so they can't counter you for free.
Yeah.
Like, you put a Pendragon in there for no reason. Cool. I'll seal the Pendragon away first.
That seems like a
Pretty
very
funny.
edge case.
But that's why I like this card. It's like high skill cap. Like, you know, it's a lot of possibilities. You know, it's like kind of like a Quicksilver Grail.
Oh, the best divine relic in the game.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
According to Mark from Solar
That's
Games.
it. Mark from Solo Games. Most trusted source in TCG strategies. All right, cool. What about underrated, Fome? Any underrated cards from the set that you were like, oh, that card's good?
So Mortal Ambition is my favorite card of the set.
Yeah.
But it was because I thought it was a funny joke.
And now it's not.
It's not a funny joke.
It's just
this
really
card
good.
is so freaking good.
It's just good.
And there's no other card that has as much potential to force a draw than Mortal Ambition.
Oh my god.
Like Nico comes in and swings for lethal, and you're like, you're swinging for lethal. No, you're swinging for a draw. Like,
If I can't win, nobody wins.
Because damage is calculated at the same time, they both lose, right?
yeah, we both die. If you attack me, we both die.
That's insane.
But yeah, so in the Wind Unique Allies deck, I think everybody pretty much runs 4 Mortal Ambitions now.
Yep. Good card.
Yeah, what do you think, Mark? What are your biggest underrated cards?
For me, I think it was Guan Yu.
Guan Yu.
Yeah. So
The card sucks.
Hey, that's a god in many regions of
that's
Japan.
right. That's the divine being that you're saying. Yeah. So the card is like you know, when it first came out, it was like very, very expensive, right? But then like people just really quickly. I remember talking to somebody. I was like, this card's like unplayable, right? You gotta like, okay, to do all the things, you gotta like, okay, I have to have allies. That's not Guan Yu. Okay, you kill my ally. You attack me again, then I play this at fast speed to do the retort.
Yep.
It's like a lot of work.
Yep.
To like to really get it to play for cheap, and then to get it out, right? So
Wow, it costs 5.
Yeah. Honestly, though, you don't even have to play it at fast activation. I felt like it was pretty effective even just playing it normally, just because it has retort 2 and ambush. So it can just retaliate for its friends, hits back for 4, slap you back for 4.
The part of the card that matters is that it's unique.
that's the only reason.
It's an
people play
ally
that.
and it's wind.
Yes.
That's
I literally see all the wind players. This is the first card they slot out on sideboards. So, but I'm just surprised. It's you know, persistent. It's still in a lot of people's decks, and the price is holding very strong. Yeah. So, anyways, market doesn't lie, or lies to me all the time. I don't know. Market doesn't tell me anything.
Turns out the entire episode is cornering the market.
It's
crazy.
it is what. Hey, every
No, it's good.
marketplace is made of square, right? And every square has corners, right? I'm just one of the corners cornering the market.
Okay, Mark.
Got there.
Eva. Huh?
Underrated
All right,
cards.
Yeah, sure. Like, my brain has turned square. I don't even know. My underrated card is not at all a meta card. It's just a card that didn't super catch my eye at first, but I ended up putting it into my deck, and it's surprisingly kind of fun. Tidal Tirade.
Okay.
Do you know what this card does?
I thought it was the one that counter spells,
That's title
Counter
lock.
spells?
so it's not the right one.
That's
No,
title
no, no,
lock.
no.
Yeah.
Close. It is a water warrior card with floating memory.
Yeah.
Gives target ally gets +1 life and gets retort 2, so it can retaliate for 2 extra.
Oh, okay.
So I've been playing this onto my stalwart shield mates.
Okay.
Onto my Frostborn paladins, onto my lurking assailants, and nobody ever expects it. They're like, "What is that?"
What does that card do? Let me read it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Is the floating memory like class bonus?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, originally I was gonna say like, oh, don't you want your stalwart to die? But this card has floating memory too, so it
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Huh. I like it.
Yeah. It's defensive and has the potential to 2-for-1 your opponent.
Yeah.
Because you kill their thing, keep your thing alive, and get floating memory. That's a freaking good card.
Pretty good
It's
card.
hella underrated.
Hey, hey guys, you gotta run this card
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is a rare? Is it uncommon?
I think
it's uncommon.
Okay, all right. Don't worry about it. We
Well,
can't
the
corner
art
this
is
market.
sick too.
It's cool. It's Axe Girl. Axe Girl.
It's That's one of the two.
It's the girl with 2 axes.
That's right.
That's maybe one of the cards that are gonna come in HVN.
I really hope so. Yeah. Speaking of HVN.
Yeah.
Segue. Okay, so last episode, right?
Yes.
I gave like a primer on the Three Kingdoms, the historical Three Kingdoms history.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of chats about that. I thought it was kind of interesting. Apparently the audience really liked it too. There was, a lot of people really wanted like more lore tidbits, whatever. So we heard you. So for this episode, that'd be really fun to kind of like flip the scripts a little bit here. And we're going to start, instead of from the historical side, we're going to start from the Grand Archive side. So let's talk about the lore of Sanguo, and then talk from that side and talk about maybe like how it interlinks with the historical side and those things, right?
Yeah.
So Eva, this was your, you volunteered to look into the lore of Sanguo. So tell us what you found.
Yes. I tried to do my homework. So there's actually not too much lore right now out for Sanguo.
Okay.
But I read everything I could.
You
so
scoured everything. You were like on deck boxes looking for lore.
They're sleeve boxes.
Oh, sorry.
Mark.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just kind of like set the foundations of what the Grand Archive and Sanguo lore is for people who aren't familiar.
Yeah.
So Sanguo is the name of the world that the sets Mortal Ambition and Abyssal Heaven take place in. So this world has this kind of unique problem where its deities gave it this condition that it has to have one true ruler, like the emperor, right? But right now, the issue is that the throne is empty. There is no more emperor, and everyone is fighting for power. So the world is kind of on the brink of collapse. So there's the Grand Archive, which is an entity. They send champions out to worlds that are on the brink of collapse to try to save these worlds from their apocalypses or whatnot. And so they send at least 2 champions that are confirmed to Sanguo. So far, we know that Kongming and Jin are champions from the Grand Archive that they sent there. They're not actually from Sanguo as far as we know so far.
So what about like the fact that Abyssal Heaven has Guojia and Diaochan? Are they from the Grand Archive or not?
Good question. Diaochan, unsure, but Guojia is definitely a member of the Grand Archive.
Okay.
I am unsure whether she is officially on the mission to Sanguo.
Okay.
Either way, she will show up.
Could be like Sylvie, where like it's tumbled into like Cambria type of thing. Okay.
So to start kind of talking about characters, so Kongming, she has a foster sister named Guojia, who we kind of talked about last episode. They met in the orphanage at the homeworld, and then apparently they've been on several missions through the Grand Archive together. Which is why I wonder whether they were sent on this mission together or not. We don't know. Not yet.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
But they were also fighting on Sanguo, because Ignite Fate is where they're like, right?
They have conflict
so
between
there's
them, right?
something.
They're
not, maybe they didn't like get sent on the same mission, or their goals or how they achieve their goal is not the same, right?
That's why I wonder whether Guojia was sent there to be on Kongming's side, or if she was sent there for other reasons. I'm not sure. But I did want to ask you, so another kind of like interesting thing here is that Kongming has an inferiority complex to her sister. She describes Guojia as like stronger, smarter, more beautiful, which I thought was kind of unexpected because Guojia is kind of depicted as like childlike.
The younger one.
Yeah, she seems so
like a
much
kid.
younger. Yeah. So I actually wonder if this is what fuels Kongming to go from her level 1 like bashful, demure look to level 2 and 3 where she does the trope of taking off her glasses and it's like, oh, I'm hot and stunning and confident now, and I will be more beautiful than my kid sister. I don't know. But I did want to ask you, so do Kongming and Guojia have any sort of relationship in the Three Kingdoms lore? I think they're both military advisors, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it's like this, right? All these elite people kind of probably like learn from the same elite schools or teachers, whatever, right? So I'm sure they know each other. I'm sure they've also studied each other's like writings and publications, effectively. But no, the two of them don't really know each other from the story. But now that you mentioned this whole part about like the stronger, more beautiful, smarter side, I wonder, and remember how like previous episode we talked about how like the Grand Archive Sanguo has combined a bunch of characters from historical Three Kingdoms. I wonder if Guojia is like the combination of Guojia and
Sima
Sima Yi.
Yi. I was
Yi.
just thinking
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Which that is the actual rival to Komi in the story. And there is a little bit, well, so the inferiority complex actually is the opposite, where Sima Yi feels Komi is just slightly smarter, slightly better than him in every single step, right? So again, it's a similar story. It's like the rift, the GA rift, but you can start seeing some of the really like similarities between it. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's been no traces of Sima Yi as a character in Grand Archive.
At
So
all.
it's very possible that they took some inspirations from there into Guojia's character.
This could
right?
just be the Sima Yi of Grand Archive. Yeah.
Are you gonna make that call that HVN there will not be an actual Sima Yi card?
I think with Guojia taking such a strong like position, probably. I mean, now here's the really interesting part, right? There is a like mage class bonus on Cao Cao. Wonder if there's like other mage classes that would actually make sense for Sima Yi to be a mage.
Oh, Sima Yi is a advisor for Cao Cao?
Cao Cao, yeah.
Okay.
He's like the best one.
The GA lore, Guojia does she have any relationship to Cao Cao?
Yeah.
In GA? Or in
oh,
Three Kingdoms?
In GA, Guojia.
Not that I know of so
But she has
far.
to. Look at her outfit, the color.
Oh, just because she's wearing blue?
Yeah.
Wait, so in history, was Guojia an advisor for Cao Cao?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so they're both Cao Cao's advisors
Yes.
and they combined
Cao
them
Cao actually
together.
has a bunch of advisors.
Okay, so
yeah.
they just combine them into one.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So they're probably the same person.
Probably.
All right, so next thing I wanted to ask you is related to some items that were kind of brought up in relation to Kongming.
Okay.
So there is a mention of something called the luopan, and what's really fucking hilarious is that they only mention Kongming's connection to the luopan on the back of the Kongming sleeves box, and nowhere.
Like the Dragon Shield sleeves?
Yes, on the Dragon Shield sleeves. Nowhere on the
Dragon
website.
Shield owns the lore of GA now.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, it says that a mysterious figure entrusts her with the luopan. And what's also interesting is that another character in the game was also entrusted with the luopan, but here it says, this is Zhang Jiao, who we'll probably talk about a little bit later when we're done with Kongming. So a mysterious figure approached her, Zhang Jiao, with a magical tome. The luopan would give her mystical abilities to not only cure the sick, and then blah blah blah. Wow. So I'm like, is the luopan a magical tome? Because when I googled luopan, I got compass. Apparently, it's a compass, right?
Yeah.
You've heard of this?
So it's
item?
so I'm not like a huge feng shui guy. I also had to Google this thing. But a luopan is a thing that's used for divination. So in Chinese, there's like this concept called feng shui, right?
Yeah.
It's like it dictates how you build your buildings, where you place your bathroom, literally how you face your furniture, right?
Yeah.
A luopan helps you kind of to do that. It's like one of the calculation devices you would use. It's not even a real compass, because a compass actually gives you, well, okay, sorry all the mysticism out there, but I just don't believe it. So like I'm like, this is a useless piece of equipment. I don't know how many people go this deep. So let's just take this luopan in GA Sanguo as probably like a mystical device, right? Whether it's a book, tome, whatever, that could like do magical things. Probably is enough of a abstraction layer to make it work, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any like significant item of this type in the Three Kingdoms lore?
No, not that.
There's
not
no
that I
such thing
remember.
as the luopan. Okay.
Okay, so I guess we'll just have to wait to find out what this luopan is about.
So that means it's going to be Regalia and HVN.
Maybe.
Could be. Yeah.
Divine Relic.
Oh, the new Divine Relic is the luopan.
Wait,
I don't know.
really could be.
Could be. It seems powerful.
It's an item that's come up
and
multiple
books,
times.
Yeah, and books or tomes are in. Yeah, there's a bunch of tomes.
See, that's the confusing thing. I'm not sure if it is the tome that's mentioned here or if it's a compass.
What if it's like some weird amorphous thing where like it can change depending on the wielder?
Okay.
So there's a prediction. We're gonna see a new Divine Relic. That's the luopan.
I feel like we've really pushed this
Interesting.
super hard.
Dude, we're here to have fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
HVM predictions, guys. You asked for it. This is what we're doing.
All right, so moving on to the other sister, there's Guojia.
Yeah.
She's coming in the next set, Abyssal Heaven, so we don't know too much about her yet. But it does say that she gathers the Shenju, who apparently are the 4 guardians or the 4 auspicious beasts.
Yep.
And also, the lore article says that each of the Shenju each embody a ley line. So this to me reads as if they each are a different advanced element, because I believe like the advanced elements come from the ley line mana, right?
Yeah.
So my guess for Guoja's ability, perhaps she unlocks all advanced elements for beast cards.
Wow, so she gets to play all the beast slimes.
Storm slime.
Storm slime.
Storm.
Ethereal
Ethereal
slime.
slime.
Lustrous slime. Wow.
All beasts except for slimes.
All beasts except for slimes. Yeah.
What do you think? And can you tell us more about the Shunju? Because I don't know anything beyond that.
So, it's really funny. Like, I actually kind of didn't know this part either. The deep diving into the 4 mythical beasts turned into like this long, like 2-hour conversation I had with my wife about like just Chinese history, culture, everything, which is really fabulous and interesting, right? But each of the divine beasts represents a cardinal direction. So that's the east. This is why Komi matters: east, west, north, south, right? And the funny thing is, we've actually seen 3 of the mystical beasts in GA cards already in Mortal Ambition.
Wait, really?
Yes. The 4 beasts are east. Representing east is the Azure Dragon, right? Qinglong is the Chinese, right? Representing west is the I hope I'm saying the west is the white tiger. So this is a tiger.
We have seen a white tiger.
that's
Guoja was riding a white tiger, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
There's
some of that.
Glow forth?
Yeah. Glow forth, yeah.
Which one?
And then representing south
Bathe.
is the was it like Crimson Bird, I think?
Eliminating charge.
Yeah. So I think south is the Crimson Bird, right? Which is basically represented usually by like as a phoenix. And then representing north is the it's Chinese is a little bit weird on this one. It's actually like absolute dark. Anyways, 玄武, right? But the thing is, it doesn't mean anything about a turtle, but the representation is a turtle enveloped by a snake. Yeah, so, and they have like, different like meanings. Like the turtle, for example, is like about death because it also represents north, which is winter. So it's like, that's why you see a lot of turtles on tombstones, for example, in China. It's actually like the guide to the afterlife, right? Anyways, if you look at the basic element spirits in Mortal Ambition, you'll see that there is a Crimson Bird, there is a white tiger, and there is a turtle, but there is no Azure Dragon.
That's right. Wait, you're right. I don't know why I'm surprised because I saw this in another video as well.
By the way, I did not discover this. Full credit to the 2. I don't know what their translation is, but like the Shining Sisters of Taiwan. So there's another
awesome.
YouTuber.
Oh,
They're
yes.
awesome.
Yes.
So
I did watch their video.
They actually, you know what? Well, let's drop a link to their channel in our description so you guys can see the original video.
Yeah.
But basically, when I saw it, I was like, wait, this is so cool.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's when I saw it, and I was like, well, this is really awesome. Like, it's just hidden in the cards.
Yes. So Jin, for him, this is his first mission with the Grand Archive, actually.
Okay.
Baby's first. But unfortunately, apparently some prophets told him that he's gonna have a bad time.
Okay.
I think it's kind of unclear what the bad end that he's gonna get is. I'm gonna assume that he was told that he's gonna die on this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's doing whatever he can to change his own fate. So this is how he gets this cursed grimoire with demonic influence and becomes a demigod. Doesn't want to be human anymore. Wants to be immortal. Becomes a demon, demigod. I don't super know both, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. This is why Jin can't die, because like level 3, he read the grimoire, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious if this grimoire is the same thing as the tome, the Luopan that's been mentioned. Like,
see,
by
I
other
like it.
characters?
I'm telling you, this is like this amorphous, super powerful item. I like it.
Yeah.
Like it could be anything, depending on who's holding it. It could do different things. If we link all 3 of this,
if they're all the same book.
thing,
So do you think maybe if it were a divine relic, would it be a modal divine relic that says, if you are spirit of wind, you gain this ability. If you have spirit of water, you gain this ability.
Wait, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I like
or it could be by class.
Could be
If you're a mage, you get this. If you're assassin, you get this.
Yeah.
If you get, I don't know.
Ooh.
Kind of a transforming divine relic.
So if I'm Merlin, I get 2, right?
Oh God.
I love Merlin. Merlin's the best card, guys.
Terrible.
It's so good.
Can we ban that card?
All right. Anyway, moving
Okay,
on.
all right.
So I there was kind of a passage that I saw that I
Yeah.
thought was interesting. I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on it.
Sure.
Okay, so the passage is this. Yet the two leaders seem to be unsettled, seeing the effect of the grimoire on Jin. Feeling responsible, Kongming seeks out her mentor, only to find him with his hand stained in blood. So my question is, does it sound like her mentor is Jin? Because he has gone to the dark side. His hands are probably stained in blood, I'm not sure. But the weird thing is that this is his first mission with the Grand Archive.
He wouldn't be the mentor.
Why would he be her mentor?
Yeah.
What
Could
do
it be
you
the
guys think?
mysterious person? Who is this mysterious person that's giving everyone Lopans?
Can I get one? No, I was kidding.
I like.
Yeah, I don't know. Sumayi. I was kidding. I don't know.
Did Kongming have a mentor before he worked for Liu Bei?
In the history?
Yeah.
So there is it's not really Kongming's mentor, but the way the story kind of works is like Liu Bei kind of went to go seek out help, finds this strategist guy just like randomly, right? Has like, drinks with him. And his name is Xu, and he helped Liu Bei like win a couple battles, and Liu Bei's like, oh, this is awesome. But Cao Cao was like, oh shit, how is Liu Bei winning battles now? He's like, all he has is like, nobody's. Finds out that Xu works under him, and Cao Cao was like, oh, guess whose mom lives in my city? Xu mom. So Cao Cao literally imprisons Xu's mom, sends a letter to Xu say, hey, you gotta come back, or else, I don't know what happens to your mom.
Whoa.
So Xu comes home, and then Xu's mom's like, why did you do this? Whatever. Anyways, long story short, Xu was taken out of the picture, but right before he left, he did mention, hey, go seek out Kongming. So Liu Bei was kind of like hinted at going find Kongming, and I don't know.
Okay.
It's like who is his mentor? Maybe the same person as the mysterious person who's granting them powers or whatever.
So kind of related to this, there was another passage. This reads, the sudden appearance of a cursed grimoire in the midst of an uprising sparks a new war fought amongst its citizens, but also with the once human Yao Mo.
So this is like a okay.
So does that word have any significance to you?
Well, I mean, what I'm thinking about, the Chinese word is Yao Mo, right, which means like demon / like ghost.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that actually Jin? Because he becomes a demigod from a human. He was once human, or is this another species entirely?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And he
Yeah.
did have the grimoire, and
Yeah.
it made him
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also,
Hmm.
it just struck me too. This is so like so in Chinese Chinese fantasy novels, right? There's a lot of these wuxia novels, which is like sword saint type of like all the sword saint stuff, whatever. But yeah, in all these novels, right? Some good character always falls to the dark side because they drank some power potion or took a demonic sword or whatever, read the grimoire, right? And they learned forbidden arts, but then they become demonic. And the whole story usually relies around something like they've been trying to do good, but now they're evil, so they kill their lover / girlfriend, and they can't come back from it. And then their brother tries to save them, and that's how the story ends usually. It's they demonize them at the end, and they become human again.
So did they have to save Jin?
I think Kongming has to save Jin, right? Because then they come
Yeah.
together on the mission. So Kongming is kind of like the partner to Jin, and Jin's fallen too deep, right?
Yeah.
And Kongming has to bring Jin back, something like this.
Okay. There's another kind of factor to this, which is that so Jin
Yeah.
has a girlfriend. It's Liu Bei.
Uh-huh.
In Three Kingdoms,
Yeah.
does Liu Bei have a romantic partner interest
Yeah,
of any
Liu
sort?
Bei has 2 wives, but they're not named either. They're
Okay,
just,
so this
yeah.
is not based on anything,
yeah.
Could be just a GA specific thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a prediction.
Mhm.
HVN, we get a new Jin 3. It's the saved Jin.
Luxem Jin.
Luxem Jin.
Oh,
Jin purified.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's right. Yes.
That'd be kind of crazy.
good engine.
Good ending, bad ending.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, sure. Jin purified saint.
You guys play Tekken, right?
Yeah. Oh, Angel
Demonic
Jin.
Jin.
And
Angel
Angel Jin.
Jin. Oh my
it's
God.
literally from Tekken.
Dude, so GA is based on Tekken, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
His name is Jin. What the?
Yeah.
So there's a
Jin
character.
Asuka.
Jin Kazama.
Oh, Kazama. That's right. Sorry.
Um,
Yeah, that guy goes demonic too, and then
Okay.
there's like a saved version. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty funny.
What the?
That's,
Hey, that's a good prediction. I like it.
and then it's gonna be busted with Excalibur.
Yeah, and Fractured Crown, guys. We're
Oh,
back
that's
in.
right. That's right.
Buy your Fractured Crowns before the stock
Oh,
goes
well.
up.
Lug some Jin 3. That's
not
our
a financial advisor,
prediction for
though.
HVN.
Yeah, not financial advice.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
The character Zhang Jiao,
Mhm.
who we did touch upon a little bit last episode, but I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to ask you a bit more about like her character and
Yeah.
her organization. She is part of the Golden Sashes, which has another name, Yellow Turbans, but in GA they call it Golden Sashes.
Yeah.
So what I understand is that she is a doctor who hated the emperor because there was so much suffering among the people.
Yeah.
And so the Golden Sashes, I assume, rebelled against the emperor, and perhaps this is what set everything into motion,
Yeah.
like was what left the throne empty and caused all this conflict.
Mhm.
And she does receive this magical tome from a mysterious figure, and it says the Lopan would give her mystical abilities to not only cure the sick, but it would also grant her the power to build an army.
It's really interesting because the Yellow Turban do actually set the motions into motion the events of Three Kingdoms.
Okay.
Because exactly like you're saying, the countryside is suffering, and these guys kind of gain power. Now, I don't know if they like magically conjure an army, but you can imagine, like, if you go out there, you're helping people when the empire has abandoned them, they're very easily turned into rebels, right? And so they're just causing troubles. I mean, to the point where these guys have like fortresses. They're not just like messing around. They're like, they have castles, they have fortresses, they've taken over cities and like basically provinces. And so the empire has to do something about it. But it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul situation in the empire. So they invite a bunch of people to come deal with the Golden Sashes, who then come over and usurp power. Then they have to invite more people like Dong Zhuo to come in to deal with those guys, which then Dong Zhuo usurps power. So it's like basically the empire's in disarray, right? And they just can't fix anything because every solution they fix or they employ just causes more problems down the line. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost sounding like the magical tome is like the Necronomicon.
I think it causes chaos.
Or like it cures people but then turns them into like your zombies army or slaves or something.
That's definitely from Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zhang Jiao is probably going to be a ally champion coming next set.
Yeah, we
I
see
mean,
Zhang Jiao in a bunch of the art, right?
Right,
yeah,
right,
and
yeah.
Zhang Jiao is like literally named in the lore articles, right? So
Yes.
I think she has to have a spot somewhere.
And she has to have some kind of like recover mechanic, right?
Yeah, recover plus zombies.
Or steal your ally.
Or summon token ally.
Or summon token ally.
Yeah. Heal, summon token ally. Every time you
God,
heal.
that sounds like
Wait, every time you heal,
That's-
summon token. Every time
I
you
don't know.
recover.
I feel like it seems too much like the summon automaton stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they would make it more mechanically unique than that.
They summon allies with equestrian.
Yes, the set mechanic slapped on summon.
Ride their horses in the battle.
Slightly off
Yeah.
topic. Do you think they're gonna put more equestrian cards in HVN, or is equestrian a one-time failed mechanic?
Is it? It's not failed. Is it failed? Oh, I guess nobody's playing it.
Only
Yeah.
Dilu uses it.
Yeah, it's true. Oh man, you're right.
The only one I can imagine is red hair with Ibu.
Yeah.
But it makes me, but like red hair doesn't just like, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but red hair just doesn't let anyone ride, right?
But let's also establish for the people that didn't watch last episode, Lubu is another major character in
Yeah.
Three Kingdoms lore who hasn't shown up in Grand Archive
Yep.
yet. So, but has shown up in multiple card art, which is why we're very keen to see what happens with Lubu next set.
Yep. Ibu is on Oppressive Presence. It's
Heated
on
Vengeance.
Heated Vengeance. It's also on the Kindred. It's the one where she's like, holding
Paired
the head
Hearts?
of the
Paired Mind,
Minds.
Kindred Souls.
Kindred Souls. That's
Kindred
Liu Bu
Souls.
and red hair, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ibu
yes.
red hair,
Yeah.
like having
Bring
a
down the mighty.
tender
That's Liu Bu
moment. Bring
also.
down the mighty as well.
Yeah, so like if Liu Bu's on multiple cards, Liu Bu's gonna get a card. Whether it's a champion, whether it's an ally, we don't know. It's probably going to be ally, to be fair.
It's going to be a sick fire ally.
Yeah,
because there are no sick. Well, we only have Arthur right now.
Arthur's pretty
but
good.
there's a real big dearth of good, unique fire allies.
Yeah.
Right now, and
Liu
Bu is going to fill that slot.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I can see it now. It's a 4/2, 3 cost unique ally, and isn't like Liu Bu like kind of like. I bow to no man. I do whatever.
Untamed.
I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be
Unchained, unbroken. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be like she'll be like you have to attack with her every turn. So you can't because she doesn't obey you. And then maybe like even hurts yourself every turn or something like that.
Pride 99.
No, that's red hair.
Oh. Okay.
The Bu's horse is gonna be even more like uncontrollable because only like lets the a worthy person ride.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's like red hair is gonna be some super busted horse that
has like Pride 5.
Yeah, I mean it seems very much like Dilu, so it has to be like a little bit different. I feel like maybe because Dilu is like works with more types of unique allies.
Yeah.
Where maybe red hair only literally works with Liu Bu.
But it's like really good if you can do it.
Yeah.
That's why you need Pair Mind Kindred Souls.
That's what it's for.
So you get the oh my gosh. Yeah, you summon the Liu Bu, and then you use Oppressive Presence so Liu Bu doesn't die. Then you pair Mind Kindred Souls and play the red hair.
Yeah.
And then you win the game. It's like, with these two on the field, like I do 20 damage.
Yeah, and Oppressive Presence is good because Liu Bu is like a high power, low health.
I like it.
Ally.
Holy shit. Guys.
That's what we need.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, like, Fire should get a ally deck. Why not?
Sure.
Sword Saint Everflame.
Oh my god, that should have been in underperforming cards.
in
that section.
True.
Because when that card was revealed, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be really strong.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be really strong.
Yeah.
And I think nobody plays it.
Yeah.
Rip.
Soon though.
Soon.
Everything changes. Yeah.
Yeah, this card is so cool.
It's the artwork.
And the design.
The design. Okay.
Yeah.
Its stats. Yeah.
Problem is, this is like another card where you just throw in the garbage can and then use it.
But then you use it from the garbage can.
Sure.
Then you set it on fire from the garbage can.
Sure.
And then you throw that at your enemies.
Sure.
Yeah. So I feel good about this one. Liu Bu is going to be a fire ally with a high attack stat.
Yep.
It's a attack stat that's higher than its life stat.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe some kind of like mechanic that makes it hard to control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That was a lot of HVN.
Yeah, good job, Eva.
Yeah, good work. A lot of research. Some really good. I think we had pretty good predictions too. Let's see how many. We should put an index on this, and then come back to this episode and say how many of our predictions actually came true.
See how badly we embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
The Lopan isn't actually in the set.
Yeah. What? No. Like Liu Bu's not even in the set.
Liu Bu's not
like our most obvious one is not even in the guarantee. Yeah. Yeah. If you have a question for TalkGA, please, you can tweet at us at TalkGA_podcast, and then have your question there. You can of course comment right here on this very YouTube video, right down in the comment section. Just make sure you add in the hashtag TalkGA to your question so we can find it easily. Of course, for the you viewers who like to email us traditionally, you can also email us at talkgapodcast@gmail.com, and then we'll get to your question on a future episode. Okay, that's gonna be a wrap for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, driving with us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Stay classy.
God damn it, you won.
Stay classy.
It's chicken? It's plain chicken?
Heavenly guys. Stay heavenly guys.
Huh?
Yeah, whoever levels up first loses.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
That took a bit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Arcane. Okay, if you guys haven't seen Arcane,
Bro, which season?
You can't spoil. It's like
spoiler. Sorry. Undo that. Undo all that. Undo all that.
What are you doing?
It's such a huge Arcane.
This guy.
Okay.
I didn't. Hey, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, off screen.
Wait, did they have a Lopan in there?